Hello, welcome to the next session of the unit Free and Forced Vibrations. And in this session, we deal with the forced vibrations. We have already studied two types of free vibrations, that is, undamped free vibrations and damped free vibrations. The two cases of free vibrations where the body, for example, a simple pendulum is vibrating freely with its natural frequency. But what happens when such a body vibrating with its natural frequency is acted upon by an external periodic force? This is the case of forced vibrations. Thus, vibrations of a body under influence of external periodic force, where initially the body vibrates with its own natural frequency, but with its vibrations continuing with natural frequency, the applied external periodic force try to impress its own frequency on the body, due to which the natural vibrations of the body die very soon, and after some time the body vibrates with the frequency of the applied force. Such type of vibrations where the body is vibrating with the frequency of the applied external periodic force is known as forced vibrations, or the vibrations where frequency depends upon the applied external force rather than the dimensions of the body. So dimensions of the body, for example, length, mass, etc., they doesn't works. The vibrations of the body totally depends upon the frequency of the externally applied periodic force. These vibrations continually till the applied external periodic force works or acts. The vibrations will die out when the applied external periodic force stops. Important point is the amplitude of such forced vibrations depends upon difference between natural frequency of vibrations of the body and frequency of the applied force. If we have to find the exact relation is that amplitude is large if the difference between the frequencies is small, and vice versa. That means amplitude will be small if the difference is large. Thus, the vibrations of a body under influence of external periodic force, due to which after some time body vibrates with the frequency of the applied external force, is known as forced vibrations. The forced vibrations continues till the applied force acts, and amplitude of forced vibrations depends upon difference between natural frequency and frequency of the force, and amplitude will be large if difference is small. Now let us analyze the same thing mathematically. We are familiar with equation of motion of the damped oscillations, and that is simply m into d2y by dt square plus ky plus mu into dy by dt equal to 0. So simply we have to put here towards right hand side of this equation where it is 0, we have to put here the function for applied periodic force. Now since it is a periodic force, we have to express it by a trigonometric function, that is sine function, And let us say that the applied periodic force is F into sine Pt, where P represent angular frequency of the periodic force, so that frequency of the periodic force is P upon 2 pi. In this way, the equation of motion for the forced vibrations will be m into d2y by dt square plus ky plus mu into dy by dt equal to f sine pt. Let us call it as equation 1. Now, such type of differential equation where the right hand side is not zero, it has two types of solutions. One is called as particular solution, and the particular solution for the second order differential equation, that is left hand side of equation 1, it is simply written as y equal to a sine pt minus alpha. Now, if we find dy by dt, that is equal to a p cos pt minus alpha, since differentiation of sine is a cos function. And again, if we differentiate dy by dt with respect to t, we find d2y by dt square in terms of a sine function. So that is equal to minus a p square sine pt minus alpha. If we took minus p square separate, then we will find that it is a sine pt minus alpha, that is y repeats again. So d2y by dt square, so this is equal to minus p square y. So in this way, y dy by dt, d2y by dt square, equation 2, 3, 4 are obtained. And let us substitute the values of 2, 3 and 4 in equation 1. That is m into d2y by dt square plus ky plus mu into dy by dt equal to f sine pt. If we substitute values of d2y by dt square, y and dy by dt, we find the equation where two types of functions are there, that is sine pt minus alpha and cos pt minus alpha. These functions are similar like sine a minus b and cos a minus b, and if we expand sine a minus b, that is sine pt minus alpha, okay, sine a minus b, it will be equal to sine a cos b minus cos a sine b. Similarly here, sine pt minus alpha will be equal to sine pt cos alpha minus cos pt sine alpha. And what about cos a minus b? That is equal to cos a cos b plus sine a sine b. So cos pt minus alpha equal to cos pt cos alpha plus sine pt sine alpha. So whole equation after expansion is represented as a red fonted equation. Now, there are two types of functions, angular trigonometric functions related with pt, that is sin pt and cos pt. If we consider one function as, for example, sin pt as equal to 1, what about cos pt? Ultimately it is equal to 0. Now if we put sin pt equal to 1 and cos pt equal to 0 in the red fonted equation, we obtain equation 5. And if we put alternate value, that is sin pt equal to 0, that means cos pt equal to 1, in the red colored equation, we find equation 6. So in this way, we have the two reduced equations, equation 5 and equation 6. Let us divide equation 6 by cos alpha, and we find the equation as mp square at sin alpha upon cos alpha, that is simply tan alpha, then minus ka sin alpha upon cos alpha, that is tan alpha, and plus mu ap, that is equal to 0. We can take tan alpha common, and in this way we can find the value of tan alpha as equal to mu ap upon mp square a minus ka. Again, from the denominator we can take a common, so that tan alpha, it is simply equal to mu p upon k minus mp square, since a cancels out, and after multiplying numerator and denominator by -1, so minus sign at numerator and denominator also becomes plus. Let us call it as a, capital A divided by capital B. That means mu p equal to a, capital A, and k minus mp square equal to capital B. Okay, so overall it is equation 7. Now tan alpha equal to capital A upon capital B, and if we consider sin square alpha plus cos square alpha as equal to 1 and tan alpha equal to A upon B, we obtain the values of sin alpha and cos alpha as sin alpha equal to A upon square root of A square plus B square, and cos alpha equal to B upon square root of A square plus B square. Now, dividing equation 5 by cos alpha, it was totally the case of equation 6. Now, let us move to equation 5. Now, if we divide this equation 5 here by cos alpha, so here it will be cos alpha by cos alpha, so it is simply minus mp square A. Here it is again cos alpha by cos alpha, simply ka. And what about here? It is mu a p into sin alpha upon cos alpha, so here it will be tan alpha. And what about here? It is simply f, so it is f upon sin alpha, and in this f upon cos alpha, and in this way we find this equation. Now from left hand side we can take small a common, and we have two terms in the square bracket, and we took minus f upon cos alpha to right hand side, so plus f upon cos alpha to right hand side. But from equation 7 we can put at a as a equal to mu p and v equal to k minus mp square, and by putting these values here in this equation, so we find here as equal to b and here as equal to a, so a in bracket b plus a tan alpha, and that is equal to f upon cos alpha. So this is the equation here we obtain. And putting the values of tan alpha and cos alpha, we have already obtained that cos alpha equal to, here it is, cos alpha equal to b upon square root of a square plus b square, and tan alpha, that is equation 7, a upon b. By putting the values here we obtain, okay, and after solving this here the root cancels out, and here we get root term actually, and b cancels out, denominator totally finishes, and a's root of this, that is simply equal to f, and from that we can obtain value of small a, and that is equal to f upon root a square plus b square. If we put the values of a and b here, so this will be small a equal to f upon root mu square p square plus k minus mp square whole square, that is under root. And if we put the value of a, that is amplitude of particular solution, that is y equal to a sin pt minus alpha, if we put here the value of a, we find the expression, and that is f upon under root, okay, into sin pt minus alpha, that is equation 8. So this is particular solution, and we already know that if these are the free vibrations which are damped 1, then the solution is a into e raised to minus bt sin omega t minus alpha. And in this way, by combining these two solutions here, that is equation 2 particular solution and natural free vibrations, we obtain expression for the forced vibrations, that is this big equation expressed as equation 9. So in this way we deal with the forced vibrations, where we consider the damped vibrations, and then the damped vibrations are acted upon by the external periodic force, and we find that after some time the body has the frequency of the external body, vibration of the body has a frequency of external periodic force, and amplitude of the body, vibrations of the body depends upon totally difference in the frequencies. With this, we conclude this session. Thank you very much.